Hello, YouTube. Well, let me adjust this a little bit. And my dog's with me. So it's Monday, and I wanted to do a staying healthy with PCOS weekly video. I think Monday's a good day to do that because everyone gets motivated on Mondays, but it's hard to stick with it through the week. So I think it's a good day to just, get the week started, even though, it's that little extra boost of getting through the week and trying to stick to our goals. So I wanted to start off by saying, I've never been really comfortable in my body ever since pretty much puberty. Since I was in middle school, I never really felt comfortable in my body. I never felt really confident, and I know that really showed. I went to a really tiny school growing up, and I pretty much knew every single person I went to school with. And because of that, there wasn't a whole lot of groups of people I could have hung out with. So it was kind of a little bit I wasn't very outgoing. I wasn't a very outgoing kid. And so I was a little bit of a loner. I didn't want to be a loner, but it was kind of a no choice for me. I just wasn't very outgoing. And, I got through it. I mean, high school was a lot better than middle school, but anyways, so it was about 6th grade when I started realizing that I wasn't really happy with my body, and, gym class was just something that I had to get through in order to get through the day. And so my 7th grade year, I decided, okay, well, I'm going to do something. I got to do some kind of sport, because I wasn't in sports. I was actually more into music. So I was a band geek, and I loved it. But I wasn't really into sports. So I decided, okay, I'm going to try and get into sports. So 7th grade, I joined the track team in the spring, and I hated it. I hated junior high track. It was awful, and it wasn't fun for me. And I think I stuck with it mostly, but I didn't really do very well, and I didn't really like it, so I stuck through it through that year, but it wasn't it doesn't barely sticks out in memory that I even did it. So it was the end of spring, and summer vacation was coming up in my 7th grade year, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to join the cross country team, and I'm going to start running. And I actually remember someone coming up to me and saying, that cross country, it's really hard, and it's going to be really hard. And I'm just like, you know what, bring it on. That's what I thought in my head. Oh, junior high. So I did. I joined the cross country team, and I was awful. I sucked big time, but you know what? I stuck with it, and I kept getting better, and I finished it out. I finished out 8th grade, junior high cross country, and even though I did terrible, I loved it, and I enjoyed it, and I decided to go back again next year. And now it's a big leap from junior high to high school cross country, because instead of running 2 miles, you're running 3 miles, and it's a big deal. Actually, sorry, 3.1. That 0.1 is so important. So, I decided to join up cross country, and in my high school years too. So I did. And I still wasn't very good my freshman year, and I also did track in high school too. I still didn't enjoy track as much as I did cross country, but I did it just to stay in shape. And I also actually did in the winter time, sometimes I did indoor track, which is basically just conditioning for track, and I did a little bit of lifting throughout some of my high school years too, just a little, nothing too big. So my favorite, of course, was cross country. The fall was the best. It was marching band season. It was cross country season. I was busy all the time. I loved it. Loved the fall. So I was really happy. I went from being in my 5K time was like 32, 33 minutes my freshman year. By my senior year, I think my fastest was 23:26 or something like that. So I made big improvements and I really was happy about that. Now, after I after I got out of high school, I went to college and I didn't work out near as much or run as much, and but I still was losing weight, which is weird for me. Like when I was freshman, sophomore in high school, I weighed like 165, 170, probably close to 165. And then I lost weight and I got down to like 155, 150, 155 by my senior year. And then when I got to college, my sophomore year of college is the least I've ever weighed, and I got down to, I think the lowest I ever got down to was like 138. I'm 5'7", so I'm pretty tall, and I've got a kind of a bigger build, not huge. I've got like a medium build. I don't have a really tiny build. It's kind of hard to tell from the video, but I don't really have a tiny build. I've kind of got like some broad shoulders. I've got wide hips. So I'm 138's really thin for me, and I haven't seen. Since I started dating my husband, I haven't seen the 140s. I've been in the 150s for a long time. I gained probably 15 to 20 pounds throughout the 3 years I've been with my husband, 3.5 years, whatever it is. I've been with my husband, but I still don't feel big. Like I want to lose a little weight, but I'm not like, I don't feel like I'm big. I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I've got a little extra pudge. But it's kind of hard because I'm hoping one day I'm going to bring my husband into one of these videos. He is skinny. He is thin. He's got a small frame. And it's so weird for me sometimes to be like, I don't think people see us as I'm the bigger one. But in my eyes sometimes I feel like I'm the bigger one. And I don't like that. But I just gotta get over it. It's hard sometimes, but I gotta get over it. It doesn't matter. I gotta stop thinking and just, let it go. Well, so this is what I want to do. I want to do weekly updates and do weekly staying healthy while having PCOS. And what I found to be the most helpful in losing weight or just staying healthy, that's my most important thing, is just staying healthy. Because of my low vitamin D, I'm trying to keep my vitamin D levels up. I'm trying to make sure I don't get any kind of insulin resistance or anything like that, or keep my blood pressure, make sure my blood pressure doesn't get high, which has been in the past. In my way of keeping healthy, because PCOS is always, it's sometimes related to diabetes or insulin resistance, and the best way you can control PCOS and control your insulin resistance is by reducing the amount of sugar and carbs that you eat. And that is what I have been trying to do the past couple years, even before I knew I had PCOS. I had done my research and saw that the best thing you can do for your body is to lower your sugar and carb intake. Don't be afraid of fat. Especially when you're going through infertility, the fat that you eat is so important. It's extremely important. The fats that you eat they're the building blocks of the hormones that cause that sometimes are out of whack when you have fertility or infertility. The cholesterols are the building blocks of your reproductive hormones. If you eat less fat when you're infertile, it's actually doing more harm than good. You need to, in my what I've looked into and what I've researched, it seems that don't be afraid of fat, don't be afraid of protein, just watch your carbs. If you just cut out cookies, pasta, bread, and like really high sugary foods and high glycemic foods, that's just going to help you tremendously. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking about changing your diet to be more fertile or changing your diet to help control your PCOS, oh, this is my Great Dane. I recommend looking into the paleo diet and also looking into the keto diet. If you're looking for a specific diet. For me, I don't follow a specific diet, and I am not in picture perfect health. I still go after those cookies, and I still want ice cream, and sometimes I will give in and eat french fries. And that is okay sometimes, but it's basically what you do overall. So I'm trying to just lower my carb intake and not follow a specific diet, because I've found that when I try to follow a specific diet, it kind of just, it makes it really, it makes it too much pressure. It feels like too much pressure on me to do well. So what I recommend is just trying to, like, being more aware of what you're eating. Maybe write it down, start a food journal, and be more aware of, like, the carbs especially. Because even if it's not sugar, the carbs, pasta, even though it doesn't taste sweet in your body, it gets broken down exactly the same way that sugar would get broken down into. So I recommend looking into that. I also recommend, like, I run and I like running. A lot of people don't like running, but just getting up and getting active more than usual is good for your PCOS, keeping yourself active. And I'm hoping to go into more workout details later, but this video is already getting kind of long. So I just wanted to really emphasize on the carbs, and really trying to reduce your sugar intake can really help with infertility and your imbalance of your hormones. And not being afraid of fat. Just don't be afraid of fat. And I'm not talking about just good fat. I'm talking saturated fat is important too. Do not be afraid of it. It won't make you fat. The sugar is what makes you fat, and what is the worst, like, that's the worst for you. I could go into more detail of that. I'm such a physiology nerd. Hey! Sorry. But I'm not going to in this video. Okay, so that's my first video for staying healthy with PCOS, and I hope to see you guys later. Alright, thanks YouTube.